Right, hi guys. I'm just going to do the new firmware update for the Sony A7r3, and it's basically fixes a few problems like the raw data being saved onto the SD cards on different types of SD card. I haven't really had any issues. I had a couple for a few days when I first updated the previous firmware, and it wouldn't save a couple of images to the card, and I was like, what the hell? But it sorted itself out, did the recovery thing. I thought, oh, that's a bit annoying. Anyway, after a while, it just stopped. It was just fine after that. But I thought, well, let's do it anyway. So all you need to do is click the download. So click that. You go to the end user agreement thing. Go down to the bottom. Click download. I've already done that. Basically, that'll be blue, so you can literally just click on it. But I've already done it, so I don't need to. So once downloaded, I've gone to my downloads folder and I've clicked on the update ILCE 7rm3 version 2.1.exe, and it's basically a case of following the instructions. So basically, you just plug in your camera to the USB, turn it on, and USB connection. So I've got it on. What's it need to be? It needs to be set USB connection, mass storage. So mine is on mass storage, and to do that you have to go into menu, then go right along to the setup part, and in there you've got the different USB settings, and you can have it on a few different types, but you need to make sure it is set to mass storage USB. Okay, and then basically we'll just click next. And it's just verifying the connection to the thing. And it says on the back of the camera now on the screen, it says follow computer instructions. So basically, we check the version. So my version at the moment is version 2, and after the update, it's going to be version 2.1. So it says if there's a problem with the version, click next. If it's impossible to cancel the update from this point forward. Right. So let's go. So now it's doing it. It's basically a case of just sit here and wait. And there we go, the camera's now just turned off. So obviously it wasn't a very big update. So there we go, camera is now updating. It's got a red light on the back of the camera, so it's obviously doing something. And obviously the green bar there, which is showing it as well. It's very, very simple. You've just got to make sure you have a full battery charge, just in case obviously it takes a little bit longer than you would expect, or plug it in USB anyway. I'm not sure if this is actually powering up via the USB or if it's actually using the battery anyway, but I've always made sure I've got a full battery charge just in case. It's just a case of sitting there and waiting, and then the camera will just reset and turn back on. A couple of times I've lost a few like personalized settings that I've changed things in the camera, and I've had to obviously just go back in and swap them around. But no real dramas at all, and simple as. So really, really simple. But so literally, first of all, you start, go to the Sony UK or US or wherever country you're from, and just type in the search for Sony A7r3 firmware update, and it should pop up. You go into there, you click download, it downloads it to your download folder. You then double click it. You get this little box that you can see now on the screen, and just follow the instructions. Very, very simple. I mean, it's taken me 5 minutes, I suppose, in total. Very, very simple. But hopefully we shouldn't see any other issues now. Yeah, so it's halfway there. Hopefully it will stop a few other little niggly things happening. They may have even done a few other little hidden tweaks there that we don't even know about. Sometimes they do that and they don't even mention it. They fixed a couple of little secret things there that you might have not even realised. It suddenly seems a little bit quicker and a little bit smoother or whatever to use. So, but hopefully they've sorted out this problem with the SD cards. I think it was the SanDisk ones and a couple of other makes were causing issues. I'm using Sony ones, they're the fast Sony ones, so I've not really had an issue apart from a couple of times where I said it sort of corrupted itself and had to do the sort of repair thing. But I actually cleaned my contacts on my SD cards after that day, so I'm just wondering if it was actually, I was just unlucky, bad timing, and it was actually the SD cards were actually dirty, the actual connections. So maybe that may be a cause. But I've not had a trouble since anyway. So right, that's that done. Now the camera still sat there. It's got a red light flashing on the back still. Oh, it's solid now, but we should see what happens in a second. Almost done. So normally it just makes a little bit of noise and turns the screen back on and says complete. So fingers crossed. It was always a bit scary in the old days when you did things like this, because you had to put it onto your SD card or whatever, and then put it onto the thing, and then it would flash off that. But obviously nowadays you just plug it in via your computer, and it does it. Never really had an issue anyway, but there you go. So complete. So we click finish. The camera's now come back to life, and it looks like mass storage. So it was actually charging. Just so you know, you can probably, even if you haven't got a full battery, it's actually showing a power point on the battery there. Now I can see it. I couldn't see it before once it was on plugged in, but now it's actually showing. So I think it's powering up from the USB. I know you can obviously power them via the USB anyway. Right, so let's put a card in, and here we go. So card's in. It looks all good. So let's that's right into the card, no problem at all. Where before it basically corrupted itself halfway through trying to write to a card, and I think that was where the issues obviously were. But that was about 45 shots there it did, and it's just offloading very quickly. So all good. Alright guys, hope that's just, if you haven't done a firmware update before, it's simple, it's so simple. It's a case of basically just finding that there. So look for the A7r3. It's exactly the same if you've got an A7 III or an A9 or an A6300 or an A6500 or an old A7S, or whatever, any of the Sony cameras. This is how you do it. It's very, very simple. So quickly, the benefits. So this is where it was saying the rare cases that the camera may stop functioning whilst writing raw data onto an SD card. It was already been used by multiple times. So some of the cards, I don't know which cards they were. I think they were the SanDisk ones, but there's obviously optimized a few things here as well, which is quite good, like image stabilization. So that's kind of cool. So for the 400mm f2.8 and the 14mm, is it? No, 24 and f1.4. So that's cool. AF tracking sensitivity can be assigned to custom key. That's cool. When used with the LAE3, that's cool. That's handy because I use an LAE3 adapter for my macro lens. So I've got a Sigma 105 macro lens. Focus area options added. Zone, expanded flexible spot, and lock on AF. Cool. Bracket shooting available during silent mode now. Okay. Okay, that's good. So that's a couple of other improvements there. So yeah, they've the performance and the overall stability of the camera has been improved. Okay, look at that, better reproduction of graduation of raw pictures. Okay, and then what's this say? New interval option. Oh, pixel shift. So 0.5 seconds added. Oh, that was from earlier. That's still on there. Okay. Well, anyway, so that looks like it's done anyway. So it's kind of cool. So simple as, guys. Just a case of just follow the instructions. Very, very simple. Just make sure you're using the USB cable that you've got with the camera, because it's a faster cable and obviously decent quality. Some of the cheaper ones, like for mobile phones and stuff like that, don't work very well. So that could cause you troubles if you're halfway through the update or something like that and it decided it wasn't going to connect anymore. that could cause you trouble. So, alright guys, hope that helps anybody out there. I'll see you soon.